Welcome everyone to the Women's Mortgage Network Group Live. My name is Marc Summers. I am the president of AIME, and I am absolutely thrilled and excited to be in this network group for this panel discussion of what we're about to have with some of the top people in our industry. I know that the direction we're taking this in is I'm going to learn so much from everyone on this panel discussion. I'm really excited to go through with it. So first, just want to give everyone a quick introduction. So first off, we have Lisa Lund.
Hi.
Next, we have Katie King.
Good morning.
Jamie Cavanaugh.
Hi, everyone.
Isabel Williams.
Good morning, I think.
Alicia Jones.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good. And then last but not least, Melanie Walburg.
Hey.
There you are. So once again, extremely excited to get into this. The conversations that I've been having, and when we do our weekly sales meetings and we go over everything, is talking about getting prepared for 2021. 2021, in my eyes, is arguably, this is already a record year. But I truly believe 2021 is even going to be a bigger year as long as you set yourself up properly. And we've been stressing that about staffing up, time management, the process that you use. So that's what we're going to dive into. And I'm really excited to get going. So here we go. So Lisa, we're going to start with you here. Okay. Increasing your staff has been a hot button topic for this year. How have you been able to grow your business while having this increase in volume?
So this year, you don't ever have a shortage of sales or loan officers. You have everyone bringing in loans. The biggest hot button this year has been the staff, the support staff to keep your loan officers there. And so typically in past years, when you were looking to hire a loan processor or a loan officer assistant, you would just put an ad out for just that, someone with experience in the business, et cetera. Well, this year, everyone's looking for the same thing. So there's just not that many people out there. So what I did was take a different approach this year, and I hired people outside of the business, a lot of them just graduating college, a lot of young people, and I really brought them in and started teaching them from the bottom up. They're like sponges. They can learn how you like to do things and learn how to do it your way. And it's been a huge success for us this year.
So perfect. So you're pretty much going after that younger generation and basically training them, with the way the world is now. Because if you were in this business, 10 to 15 years ago, it's a different type of business.
It is. And too, with that, I'm breaking up the process of it. I'm teaching them each little sections, whether it's setup, you're learning how to do the LE and call the clients and go over everything, or it is ordering verifications of employment, or looking at title reports, or whatever it is. I'm breaking up the process and I'm teaching them those skills. And it's been great for me this year.
That's awesome. Now let me touch base on that a little bit. How much are you breaking it up? Can you give us a few examples of how you're breaking it up?
Yes. So we have one person or a couple people in setup. So they're making sure that the disclosures are going out, that they're being consented, that the documents have been put in place, that they have the proper documents there. I have someone that goes through the file, electronically or whatever, make sure that it's put together before it even goes to processing, and ordering things like credit supplements or verifications of employment or things that they know to look for that the processor is going to need. So when the processor gets the file, things are already put in there. I have people in place that are like our communication directors, because I think that's been the biggest thing this year, is making sure that your clients are getting communicated to. So our processors will reach out to another team that's our communication team, just so they make sure that they're getting called at least once a week. Every client's getting called, even if there's nothing to update them on, they're getting called. We have someone in the closing department that are doing closing calls for us. So before the client goes to sign, they have a closing call done by someone in our office. So the communication part has been key as well.
That's great. I love it. I love it how you broke it up right there. And the one thing that I kept hearing every time you started, every time you were telling me what's going on here, is that it was always about communication with the consumer. Because I really think that's important. And it's one of the things that I think that separate the difference between brokers and retail the most. So
yes.
Thanks, Lisa.
I found that's been key. So when you hire people, just get people that are not afraid to get on the phone. They can always ask you questions, and that's how they learn. Getting them on the phones right away with that communication has taught them so fast.
Couldn't agree more. All right, Katie. All right, you also have a growing staff here. What are some training techniques you use to make your staff feel supported and feel confident in their abilities? Because I remember when I first started in this business, and I've hired a few people, you can just see the blank look on their eye of what the hell is going on here? What is this business? So what are you doing to instill confidence and make sure that they're doing everything properly?
Right. Well, this year, I agree wholeheartedly with Lisa that it's been really hard. We put Indeed ad after Indeed ad after Indeed ad out. We're really having a hard time getting really super qualified candidates. So I've always had a very seasoned staff. And this year we did something different because it was so hard to try to recruit people. We've been recruiting new people to the industry and training them up as well. I think I really, just having been in the industry for 20 years, I just want to give big props to UWM, because I think that even with the course that they offer, it's such a nice introduction just to say, okay, I'm going to sit you in here and you're going to do this UWM training, and they're just going to slowly introduce you to a little piece of this at a time. And it's been such a good just basis. I think that previously in our industry, we just didn't have that kind of that training available to us. So I love that they've given us that to where they can get that basic training, and then we can kind of massage the training from there. I think the other thing too is just peer training, is that the UWM is a really nice introduction just to get them familiar with just kind of what the process looks like A to Z, because some of these people coming in probably don't even really know what a mortgage is, to be honest. They've never gone through the experience. So it's been such a wonderful platform, to use as a platform just for training kind of A to Z. And then we kind of do more like peer training beyond that. In my office, there's a lot of baptism by fire. So we sit across from the desk. Everybody's back in right now. We're not working from home. And so it really is just sitting across the desk from each other. A lot of peer training going on, just them hearing, I think just sitting across the desk from their peer and hearing just the conversation has been really super instrumental as well. So we're trying to cross-train, even though we have the process broken up somewhat, we are also trying to cross-train just so that we don't leave ourselves vulnerable. I think this previous 18 months has been hard because the mortgage industry has been so busy. Good employees are being poached, right? So everybody's hiring, everybody's trying to entice. So, that's really kind of what's worked for us recently.
No, you're absolutely right. Two things that I took away from that are big is that, yes, UWM does a great job with their success track and training and all that. But one thing that I've always said, I say it all the time, is the beautiful thing about our industry is that there's 5,000 right ways to do this business, and everyone has their own process. And the fact that you send them a success track to get that balance, to get that base, and then bring them back into your process and how it works is great. And then also with, stay-at-home orders and COVID, like we're stay-at-home orders right now in Michigan. The fact of the matter is that I know a lot of my guys have expressed frustration to me that they don't have that office camaraderie. You get that little problem and you can't bounce it off someone, so no, I agree with you. And I love the fact that you're in and baptism by fire. I'm going to start using that, by the way.
Right.
Sometimes that's the best way to learn, to know that, hey, we're all going through the same thing.
Right. Well, and it really, it's been good. And just doing I think that when we broke up the process previously and then somebody left in our organization that maybe did one part of it, it left us really vulnerable. So I think it's really empowering to the girls that are here that we are doing the cross training between peers.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Katie. Jamie, pretty much asking you the same question here. Oh, I think my mic's, hold on here. Oh, unmuted. I apologize. I thought I was muted there. My apologies. So, Jamie, everyone always loves to hear what you have to say. What are some struggles with finding employees right now and getting them trained?
Yeah, you know what? I can't help but echo everything Lisa said, everything Katie said. We are struggling. Everybody who is seasoned in this industry knows that they are a mercenary right now. Even our great staff who've been with us for 15 or 20 years are getting, heavily recruited from every platform out there, LinkedIn, Facebook, you name it. And so finding somebody who's already experienced that you can just plug and play is not really reasonable. And so I've got an interesting thing going here because I have an inside sales team. So not only am I trying to build on ops and have the support there for the incoming loans that we have, but I'm also trying to scale sales so that we can support this amazing volume of leads and the database that we have of clients calling us saying, let's refi, let's refi, let's refi. So what I've had to do is really, really, really dig in and start breaking up my processes on both sales and on ops. So leveraging technology has been a big, big thing for us, primarily on the communication side, because one of the first things that can start to drop off when we get crazy busy, when we have extended turn times with lenders, and then when we're stretched really thin without enough staff on either side of the equation, is that we have too many loans and we have things taking too long, and our customers can start to, to lose that feeling of being handheld through the process. So we've leveraged technology in a big way to reinvent our process and make sure that in addition to those personal calls that we're making, that the customer is also getting some milestone communication along the way. So technology has been a huge part of how we're able to balance everything. And then for staffing, it has been very much bringing in inexperienced people without that mortgage piece who do have other characteristics that are important to us. So it might be college graduates with very specific skill sets. We have people with a sports background or a liberal arts background are excellent candidates because they do have the ability to be team players. They have some natural sort of innate skills and talents that make them really, really, really teachable, trainable, and excellent for a corporate culture. So we've got some interns right now, and to Katie's point, we put them right into the UWM Success Track, and it is a fantastic starting point for them. So after they leave the UWM Success Track, we bring them right in and have them just start shadowing our team members. And it's worked out really well for us so far. And so what we do is we just start to do that. We do that with a couple people at a time, and we keep building and we keep building. And the theory is you just keep cycling people through that. Those that started brand new become more senior. They train those that come in brand new again. And hopefully over time, you build on it and you've got some really, really great people to add to the team who are not only great members of your team, but also there's a sense of, I think, loyalty and a mutual appreciation because you've taught them a skill. You've brought them into this industry and you've brought them into the fold. And I think it just really, it makes for a really great future for everybody. So far, knock on wood, it's been working.
Yeah, no, that's great. One of the things I heard is you broke it up again. It seems like, in order to become successful, once you hit a certain maybe volume, I guess you'll say, you break it up even more. And I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting out of it. And that's great. I mean, for my company alone, my brain biscuits are turning right now. So thanks, Jamie. Isabel, how's staffing going for you? Issues? Everything going great? What's going on?
Well, I'm a little different from, I think, the rest of the girls. I started out by myself, and then I had to learn to grow, which was a little difficult. Like I didn't come into it with like a staff already. The first hire that I made was a loan partner because I needed to duplicate my individual effort, and there's just not enough time in the day, right? So I needed another person. But through that process, I was constantly already looking for a way to take what I knew here and put it on paper or on a computer screen. So I actually use the system called Tranual, like training and manual combined. And I video record everything I do and I drop it in there. So when I have a new hire come in, I actually plug that person into the video and I can monitor whether they've watched the whole thing.
Oh my
So
God,
it's really cool.
I'm
so
sorry
when
to
they
interrupt.
complain
That's
that
a
they don't know how to,
phenomenal idea for training. I mean, that's top notch right there.
yeah. Yes, because I didn't have a training person. It was just me. So I had to figure out how to use technology to my benefit. And so I started video recording everything that I did, how I took an application, how I used my CRM system, how to pull credit, how to run to you, the whole 9 yards. It's in the system that I've been building out for over a year now. So I actually have a new hire doing it right now, and it's interesting. She says she loves it. She's like, I go back to the video every time I get stuck. So that frees me up to train someone and still operate my business. So it's, yeah, I'm with everybody else. I mean, it is really hard to find great people, but I'm just looking for people that are hungry, smart, and humble. You know, I can't, I actually went against the grain. I didn't want experienced people. I'd had a couple of bad experiences with people that had been in the industry for a long time, and they literally wanted to come in and tell me how to run my business. And that after two of those, I was like, never again. So I actually don't want anybody with experience. I want everybody that's on my team to be green so that I can mold them to do it the way I want it done.
Love it. Once again, 1,000 right ways to do this right. You know what I mean? But obviously you're using technology, which once again, my brain's turning right now of what I can do for my company. I think that's phenomenal. That's, you know, kudos to you on that one, Isabel.
Yeah. Well, we kind of did the same thing everybody else did. I mean, we all had to go cloud-based. So thank God for Lending Pad and Arrive. You know, these are systems that allow us to not have to do it the old way. You know, we can figure out a new way to do what we do at a really high level.
That's great. That's great. So, you know, the kind of, you know, you four kind of hit on staffing and training and whatnot, but you know, one of the things I kept getting here was, you know, the timing aspect of it, and everyone is busy right now. You know, record years, everyone's doing great, within reason. You know, so now we got to start talking about time management here. So, Arlesia, I'm gonna start you off on this one first. So, I listened to your episode of Broker to Broker on our podcast, and you use the CRM's called Shape, correct? Okay, so
Yes, I use it.
how has that tech stack helped you manage your time? And give us a little background on it.
So Shape is a CRM, and it links with my LOS system. I use Lending Pad, and I also use Flowify. So all three of the systems that I use, they all talk to each other. And so that's important for me because I think one of the common things that all the other women say is that they want to stay in communication with their clients. And so I use that as kind of like a little buffer to make sure that I'm in communication with my clients, that every step of the loan process, they are getting a notification. They also know that I'm available to speak with them on the phone, but I am a one-woman shop. I do have an assistant that works with me. So me being able to free up how many phone calls that I make a day is very important. I get about 50 calls a day, hundreds of text messages from clients throughout the day. And one of the cool features with Shape is that if I do text, I can text my clients through Shape, and they can respond through Shape, through my text messages when I update them with their milestones. And so it's important that I free up my time on the phone just because I am a one-woman shop and my assistant is very green and very new as well. So a lot of the things that I know and I want to communicate with my buyers, she's able to, but she's not, you know, where I want her to be to really take on that role 100% at the moment. So being tech savvy and having that background kind of filter is really important for me.
That's great. Yeah. So using technology to free up time. I mean, that's kind of why it's there, you know what I mean, for you to be more efficient. But no, that's great. I mean, you obviously have a process set up and it's freeing up your time. And, you know, I'm a big time management guy just for the mere fact of mental health within reason. You know what I mean?
I always say that. I say that all the time. Mental health is so important in this industry. I have 3 kids, so I get it.
Yeah, me too. I got 3 kids too. So yeah, I mean, you want to spend time with them. I mean, sometimes, no, I'm kidding. But you know, at the same time, you know, you got to set up these processes. You got to use technology for time management so you're not banging your head against the wall all the time, because what will happen, and I've seen it happen before, is you work your 12, 14, 16 hours a day and you get burned out. You know, and we don't want that because we're too important to consumers. So thanks, Alicia, on that one. Jamie, we're back at you. How do you manage your time with your business and family? And have you ever struggled with time management?
Well, that's been the single biggest struggle of 2020 has been time management. That's why I laughed when we talked about covering that today, but it has also been an amazing learning experience. And I've actually implemented a few different things that have helped with this a lot, and it's dramatically improved over the last 6 months because I was burning out. I mean, real talk, that's what was happening. 16-hour days, you're here all night, you get home, I've got a 6.5-year-old daughter, and then trying to be there for her. It was more than anybody can do. And we have to care for ourselves first if we can even hope to care for our families. And then in my case, the team that relies on me here, And so one of the first things that I started to do was ask myself, what is distracting me during the day that's causing me to not be as efficient as I could be. And some of it came down to simple things like having the sound turned on to notifications every time an instant message or an email or silly things like that were coming through. Turn off the volume. Then every time I'm in the middle of something, my email's not popping up and stopping me. So the time blocking thing, we talk about it so much and everybody uses it, but it's so true. When I'm working on a project, I have to stop and focus solely on that for an hour or two and not be in my email and not be doing the other stuff, because email can run your entire day and you can wind up at the end of the day having done absolutely nothing else but just sit there, and put out fires. So there's that. For me, the other thing has been empowering my team to go out and find their own answers. It is so easy for everybody to come in and say, Mark's smiling because he knows, especially when you're a leader, can I just get 1 second of your time? Can I just get one? I just have a quick question. Well, now you multiply that by 16 people. You got an 8-hour day. And the problem is that there are answers out there. And if everybody's coming to me for them, they're not learning. And I am only one human being with so many hours in a day, and I'm not doing the things for growth for the company that I need to be doing. So recognizing that was a big deal. It was a really, really big deal. And what's happened as a result of that is everybody has started to do all the things that I did when I was coming up in this business, when I didn't have anybody to go to and ask questions, which is leverage your resources. We have account executives at our lenders who are absolutely phenomenal and are able to help us, guide us through things. We have a wealth of material online that we've never had before. AIME has been a huge support system for brokers with so much information at our fingertips to help us with the things. Vendors, with technology solutions. So teaching my team to find their own help, being very cognizant of how I'm spending my time and not getting distracted when I'm working on projects. And I use Calendly, surprisingly enough. So when I'm calendaring appointments with people, I send them my Calendly, and I just block out 30-minute timeframes for people so that there are certain parts of the day where I'm just not available for appointments, so that I know that I can focus on those corporate projects and things that I need to do. And so being very mindful of my time, being very, very conscious of where I'm focusing my energy, it has really allowed me to cut back dramatically on the number of hours I'm sitting here in the office, but using the time I am here much more effectively. And I think that's been the biggest deal. I mean, I really do. I think that's the key.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, planning out your day is kind of what I do. And you hit something I do all the time, is I have to have blocks. Notifications, I like that one. I'm going to do that one right away. So no, thanks, Jamie. I really appreciate that. Melanie, you've been quiet way too long. I'm kidding. No, I know you've been waiting patiently. So you're getting ready to make some changes with your brokerage location, correct?
Oh, lots and lots of big changes. So I don't know if you remember, Mark, but I've been on my own solo broker, owner, operator for 15 and a half years here in Georgia. And I've done it all on my own, like originating, compliance, marketing, processing, a true one-woman shop. And then about a year ago at Fuse, AIME Fuse, Matt Ishvia said, staff up, you guys need to prepare. There's big things coming. I looked over at, you guys know Todd Bitter. I looked over at Todd, and we're both like, we got this. Yeah, whatever, we got this. We can handle it. Okay, well, I wish I had listened because a one person, Arlesia, you might want to get ready. A one person cannot handle 30 loans a month, and that's where I'm at. I've been working 7 days a week since March, and so now it's kind of a storm. I won't say the real word that I've been saying to my new processors, but but it's been a storm. Because I bought a corporate space, I bought a corporate building about a month ago. I'm looking to make the transition Christmas week, because Christmas week is probably going to be the only downtime that I have, assuming people actually leave me alone a little bit for Christmas. So I'm going to move my office into the new corporate space Christmas week. The new processors, I got 4 people starting January 4th. So it's just been truly, truly chaotic. And I'm mad at myself because I did this to myself because I didn't listen. I didn't listen, staff up and get ahead of the curve. And now I'm kind of scrambling and backtracking, doing, processing all day long, working on files and compliance. And then at night, I'm looking at new employee manuals and processes and procedures and all of the stuff for staffing up. And I'm still, first and foremost, like the biggest, most important thing to me is providing good customer service and not making anyone mad. I'm a true people pleaser. I need to maintain my perfect 5-star reviews online. So that entails all day long, every day, like immediately responding to emails and qualifying those buyers right away because the real estate agent is ready to receive the qualification letter. So all day long, every day, I'm still in a fire and doing all of the originating and processing. But I'm in my downtime, which is like 9 p.m. to midnight. I'm working on the procedures for the growth, which is really crazy. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it to anyone waiting this long.
So it sounds like to me, you're kind of handling your business in the morning or first part of the day, I should say, then working on staffing up, moving at night. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, that's a fair statement. And like the other lady said, I mean, thankfully, I have found some people that are young and green and really smart, and they just, they're good people. That's the most important thing to me, is that they're smart, they're trainable, they have a good heart, they're humble, they're kind, they want to help people, because that's what this profession is helping people. That's all we want to do, is help people, get them into their homes. The home purchase is the biggest purchase most people will ever make, and if we don't do our jobs and do it right, we've let down a lot of people. So the people that I've hired that are coming on are know absolutely nothing about the industry. I got 2 processors right now that are in training, and I'm excited for them because they're excited that they have the potential to make more money than they've ever made. They're going to be working closer to their homes. Everybody's going to be on site, and kind of, it's going to be a real learning curve. I know in January it's going to be a lot of moving parts. It's going to be hard for me. I'm admitting it. I'm already admitting it to everybody. It's going to be hard for me to relinquish control, because for 15.5 years, I've done it all on my own. I honestly, I lay awake in bed at night and I'm like, how am I going to hand a file off to a processor? How am I going to do that? But I have to have, the faith in myself that I've hired the right people and I've trained them well, and that I can just do it. It's got to be done, because there's only so many hours in the day, and my family misses me.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're staffing up to free up your time, which is kind of they go hand in hand. So that's great.
Yeah,
right,
and
Lisa.
I should have done it sooner. I really should have done it sooner, because working 7 days a week is not ideal. It's really not, and I've been doing it for months.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Melanie. Hey, Lisa. Okay, last question with you in time management here. All right, you're a parent, mom. Sometimes I know you're a workaholic. Pretty much you're a workaholic. How do you manage your day to, there's obviously, because I feel the same thing with my family. Sometimes I have this guilt, you know what I mean? Of, well, I'm working too hard, and obviously the flip side is you're providing for your family and all this stuff. But how do you manage your business and home life? Do you have any, just tell me what you do.
Yeah, I mean, that's very difficult, because it's like you have your family in your home and you have your clients that need you too, and you just want to be there for everyone. Kind of to touch on what Jamie said and Melanie said is, it's really hard to let go and give up, a file and trust in people, especially people like us who want to control the whole process. And I had a really great lesson this year. I had my receptionist who had been with me for 5 years slip a note in my backpack one day that I carry my laptop in. And I got home and I read the note, and she basically said, I've been here for 5 years. I would love to learn more. I'm here for you. Whatever you need me to do, I want to step up. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to do this. And it kind of shocked me that I didn't recognize that I need to give up more control so I can have my time. So like everyone here, I was working, 16-hour days, and you can only do that so much before you get burnt out. And so that kind of reminded me that I do need to let them learn. That's how I got in this business. I was a receptionist, and then I was a junior processor and a processor. And I learned from picking up the phone and asking underwriters, how do I clear this condition? Or how do I do this? And just from listening to other people in this business. And that's how I learned. That's how I got where I'm at today. So I had to kind of remind myself of that and know that I have to trust other people, that they're going to take good care of these clients just like I would. And so that was a great reminder. And then this year I had a big birthday, and I took off some time, and I said, you know what, I'm going to leave it up to my team. I'm going to trust in them. And I came back and everything was handled great. And it was a relief for me. So I think you just have to trust in other people, as hard as it is sometimes, because a lot of people grow their own business and it's their babies and it's hard to let go. But there's a lot of, great people out there, and bringing people into the industry. Like Jamie said, they appreciate you, and you create a team. You create a team around you, and you all work together.
Yeah, your team frees up your time.
And then I bring my kids to work. So
yeah, no.
My kids think my office is like their second home.
Nice. Yeah, no, I mean, your team frees up your time. I mean, it's, I'm a big team guy, and you just can't do it by yourself. Look, I mean, I'm a big sports guy too. Look at every sport, you need a teammate, within reason, or you're in an individual sport. So Katie, you want to add in on any of this?
Yeah, I wanted to say a couple of things. So Melanie, I'm so excited for you and just what this next chapter looks like for you. I started out as one person show, and it just kind of grew from there. It's been exciting for me to join AIME because I never really went out and recruited loan officers. I just had honestly, I had a lot of women recently, a few men approached me about working together. And so it's been really neat to kind of grow. My mom was my bookkeeper. I'm so excited for this next chapter. I think that I always had my hands so deeply into files. In the last couple of years, I've started to relinquish that. And, one thing that I do is I give my assistants access to my email. So everyone thinks that I have Melanie Walburg 5-star communication, because they are responding as me. They even talk like me. When Megan started and Gabriella was training her, I mean, she even has my lingo down. Like everyone, I've got a couple key statements, and everybody kind of laughs about it in the office, and they're like, "Oh, I know what she means by that now." So I really just want to, just encourage you just to let go. They will step up to the occasion. I think this, as we all look forward to 2021, and just empowering our people just to have end of the year meetings or beginning of the year meetings, and everybody ask our existing staff, where do you want to go in 2021, and how can we help you get there? That will elevate all of our businesses, and we can help them achieve their goals. So they always say hire within or promote from within. And I think that just when you say, hey, here's what I can give. I love, Lisa, that your receptionist came to you just to ask for how she can, have additional responsibility, and I'm really excited just to kind of grow in that space with my group here. It's just all of them right now, it's like the light has come on, they see the opportunity, and they're saying, hey, where can I plug in? Where can I grow? And I think that when we really foster that, it's good for everybody.
This is great stuff, phenomenal stuff. So we have a little bit of time left here, and I know I did not tell you guys I was going to do this, but I'm going to do it. Okay, which is I'm going to give, if you can take 1 minute, and obviously we touched base pretty much on staffing, training, time management. I want each of you to take a minute, and I'm going to do this randomly, and I'm surprising everyone here, which is, if you wish an industry leader, or if you were going to give advice to someone in your shoes now going further, what would it be? So I am going to pick on, who am I going to pick on first? Jamie, you're up first. What would be the one bit of advice you would give?
I would say take care of yourself first so that you can take care of everyone else. Remember that during these busy times, they will not last forever. So make sure that you appreciate everyone around you and how hard they're working. Because when the busy times, begin to normalize again, we're all still going to be here together. And so just be appreciative and grateful. Have a grateful heart every single day, because it's just mortgages, everybody. It's just mortgages, and it's not life or death.
Absolutely love it. All right, I'm going to go to Arlesia next.
The one piece of advice that I would give would be, don't be afraid to reach out to other people in the industry to ask for help. I have met some amazing women through the Women's Mortgage Network group, through the Brokers Are Better, who I've never met in person. It may just be a Facebook interaction through Messenger or a phone call. And as a new person in the industry, having someone that you can reach out to and maybe ask a question is very important, because you just cannot do this on your own. And there's too many moving parts and too much information to know. So just being open to other people giving you information and being open to reach out and ask for help is a really important piece of advice that I would give anybody new in the industry.
You just tugged on my heartstrings right there, because I have said, with all the great things that I think AIME has done and that I've been a part of, and being able to do it is my most favorite thing, is the support that I feel this community gives. And you hit the nail on the head with that one, because I remember when I started this business, or even before AIME, if you were a broker down the street from me, I hated you, and I have no idea why. I kept everything close to me, but I truly feel with like the Women's Mortgage Network group, the association itself, we really truly can lean and help on each other. So that's a great comment right there. Isabel, what do you got for me?
Trust yourself. I think that a lot of times we have so much self-doubt in what we're capable of. What Alicia said, there's a community here. I love all the women that are in our network. Marc, you're amazing, of course. We're just really fortunate. It's a different day. It's not the way it used to be. I've leaned into Jamie a couple of times and reached out to her, and my God, I adore this woman because she's so willing to help. But I've gotten that from so many other women that are in the group. And so trust yourself, trust the people around you, surround yourself with people that you admire. You'd be amazed at how much they're willing to help. Like, I've had people say, this is who I use. This is a system that I've implemented. This is how I've trained my people. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. And then you're just literally copying a process that's already been tried and tested. So a lot of it's just faith in yourself and faith in other people. So yeah, we're rocking.
That's a great bit of advice right there. Melanie, you're up. What's the advice you're going to give?
Well, so I got a couple of them. I might take more than a minute. Sorry.
You're fine. Go ahead. You're absolutely fine.
I never take one minute. So, Marc, it's funny because I think back to like the very first broker to broker. I think it was a Zoom call you and I had like 2 years ago, and Matt Gouget was on there as well. And I think back to that, I'm like, look how far we've come. Look, individually, each of our businesses, the organization, but I really, really thought that I was on an island and all alone before AIME. The camaraderie and the help and the support, it has been amazing. And I don't think any of us could even say that we could be where we are today without helping each other and without the AIME organization. So I want to say that first and foremost. But as far as the piece of advice, the best piece of advice I could give to someone maybe just starting out, a lot of people are like thinking ahead to 2021. What do I want like 2021 to look like? How's my business model going to change? What am I going to do? We actually all need to be looking beyond that. Because if I had, like I said earlier, if I had listened to Ishviet Fuse a year and 2 months ago, I would be in a different space right now and already be ahead of this curve that I'm in. So I think we all need to plan a little bit further into the future. What do we want our 2022 to look like? And how would we make that happen? 2021 is going to be different than 2022. So let's not just plan for the short term, but try to also plan for the long term and get ahead of that major curve. So if there's going to be, you try to foresee the growth and the problems so that you can tackle it head on now, so that you're not in a crunch like I'm in right now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Melanie, as always, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. You obviously, we love having you. Katie, you're up. What do you got for me?
I'm going to say use your resources. I love this organization. I've previously, not to cast a shadow on any other organizations, but when I attended, another national organization that represents the industry, I didn't really feel like they represented me. So being introduced to AIME and getting involved has been really super wonderful. And this is coming from somebody that's been in the business as an independent broker for 20 plus years. So I love that. Use your resources, lean on everyone, in this group. And get involved. I'm going to be honest. I joined the group. Mark, you and I had a conversation last year, and I joined the group, and literally I didn't know anybody in the group. And I'm like, I'm going to get on a plane. My son lives out in Orange County, and I'm like, I'm going to go out to Orange County. And I had identified a couple of people that I wanted to meet, once I got out there. And I went out there all by myself. I got out there, and I'm like, well, how do all these people know each other? AIME is so new, because it just seemed like they had instant camaraderie. And I hated it that we went right into COVID after that. I mean, literally, it was like the week after that, everybody's starting to send their employees home. But it was just so nice. So I would just encourage anybody that is watching this that maybe is reluctant to get involved. The next time we have an event or there's an online event, get involved. It's so easy. I know it can be intimidating, but I got on that plane all by myself and just went out there. And it was just one of the best things. I've gotten to know so many people in the organization now. Always get the high five, always get the encouragement. We share information. It's been really wonderful to have that camaraderie. I did not feel that in previous associations, where I was affiliated in the past. So use your resources.
Awesome. Absolutely love it. Sorry, I had to tickle my throat. So if you heard me cough, I apologize. All right, wrap it up, Lisa, for us. What's a bit of advice you have for all of our network?
Well, being in the business myself for a long time, when you have good years and sometimes you have not so good years. So I always say, make sure that you're reinvesting back in yourself and your company, whether it's technology, staffing up, like Melanie talking about, don't be afraid to reinvest back in your company. Advertising or whatever you feel is going to grow your company, really make sure that you're doing that, and don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to reinvest and overhire and create, spend money on that technology. And then, to touch on what Katie just said, get involved. Even if you don't think there's enough time in the day, get involved in the group. You will gain so much for your business by just getting involved.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And I've been preaching that. Obviously, I know I'm not in the Women's Mortgage Network group. That's why I'm so excited to be here, because I'm not really supposed to be here. But at the same time, I tell everyone, listen, you have some sort of experience. You have something that you can provide that's going to help someone. You just have to have a little confidence in it, to do it. So I think that's great advice, Lisa. So, well, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just want to thank all 6 of you for taking the time out of your day. We're all super busy, but I'm telling you, it's an impact of what we do and what you do and the advice that you give, because I guarantee you people that are going to watch us are going to take a nugget from it and improve themselves. And the big thing for me is I like to improve myself, not only for the business, but for the consumer itself, which, I've always told people, you put the consumer first, everything else will fall into place. You know what I mean? So just want to thank every single one of you ladies for joining us today. I'm going to cut it off here. I'm Marc Summers. I'm the president of AIME, and I was so excited to do this, and I'm ready to roll. So thanks, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.